Hi guys, Selena Walker here, naturopath and nutritionist, living deep in nature here at Spruce. And today I want to talk to you about making spruce tip tinctures. I want to show you how easy this is, and hopefully it will inspire you if you live near woodlands to collect some spruce tips and make your own tincture. Now, if you haven't already watched my previous video where I show you how to collect spruce tips sustainably and how you can work with the weather, then I'll put a link in below and you can go and check that out. So these are the spruce tips I've collected from the forest floors. They've also got the energy, the forest in them. And I'm going to be making a tincture of these. So I'm going to be making a tincture so that will then last throughout a long time, because you know, if you think I'm making it with vodka doesn't go off that easy. So it's a great way to preserve your medicine. And I'll also be selling this in the Spruce shop later this year. So as I said, I've already collected these from the ground and it's this simple. So I've got a jar. I'm just simply going to place gently the spruce tops in the jar. Now it's easier working with the spruce tops because they don't hurt as much. If any of you worked with spruce needles, because I do make tinctures out of spruce needles and vinegars, then you will know that when you're working with the needles, they can sometimes give you a bit of a poke. They can sometimes just wake you up and say, hey. So I will put as much in there to take it right up to the top, but I want to leave a bit of room to top it with vodka to make sure it's underneath. So doesn't that just look amazing? And oh, the smell, you know, if any of you don't know of the benefits of spruce, then what I recommend is you go and actually get into spruce woodlands. Now I just need to open this. I probably should have done that earlier. What I've got here is vodka. And this is, I think it's 44, is it? Yeah, 43% vodka. And I really like using the 5 vodka. No affiliate, but I like using the 5 vodka from the distillery in Penderyn because it's Welsh made vodka and it's made with the water from the Brecon spring water in the Brecon Hills. So it just adds that extra element of Celtic energy. So the spruce needles are from our Welsh woodland and the vodka is from South Wales, which is where I'm from. So there's that great connection for me. So I've got the tips in there. And all I'm simply going to do now is pour that vodka on. And this vodka has been distilled 5 times and it's won awards for the purity. So I really like using that to make medicine. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to gently pour that as high as I can get it. And some of the stuff might float initially, but if you just give it a bit of a shake every couple of days, it will go down. I want to try and get it as high up without it squirted up the top. There we go. Pop the cork back on. There's probably not much left in there, only a little bit. And pop the lid on. And it's that easy. So now what I would do, I would leave this sit for minimum 8 weeks, but I'd like to probably leave it even longer. I'd leave it as long as I can really, because it's in vodka, it's not going to go off. And then when I'm ready to bottle it up, I will simply strain it through probably some muslin, something like that, anything that will strain it, but you need something quite fine to take out any bits that have come out from the forest floor or any bits of the needles. You want to make sure it's completely filtered. So why would you want to work with spruce tips? Well, spruce is known for the oils that are in the pine. I mean, if you've ever walked through a pine woodland, and smelt in those oils, you just know that they make you feel good. They've also got an antiseptic property to them and an antimicrobial property, and for that reason quite often pine was used traditionally in a lot of cleaning products, and even these days they're pine scented. Yeah, don't think there's much pine in them, but you've probably got a toilet cleaner there that's pine scented, and that is the reason, because years ago people traditionally used pine because it had the microbial and antiseptic function in it. It's also got antifungal properties, but as far as medicine is concerned, well, on one level it connects you with the woodlands, doesn't it? It connects you with the trees. But if you're looking at specific medicinal qualities, I always think vitamin C. These spruce tips are absolutely brimming with vitamin C. Now I've made these from the Norway spruce we have here. You might see some of them behind me. And you can use most of the actual spruce trees or pine trees, but you want to stay away from poisonous ones, which is mainly yew. So do make sure that you identify properly. Now the other things that you can use this for is bronchial problems. So what do I mean by that? Well, a chesty cough is the obvious one, isn't it? So it's great for any bronchial problems, but you do have to be careful because it is kind of intensifies the spasming in the bronchial function, in the chest function. It can be a bit too much for certain conditions. So people tend to stay away from it if someone's got like bronchial asthma or whooping cough. But, you know, from a naturopathic perspective, it's not just about using these medicines. It's like this symptom needs this medicine and that's that. That's looking at it from a very allopathic point of view. And we want to look at it from a naturopathic point of view. So as well as using these medicines, you know, if someone's got asthma problems, it's looking at all the other issues. Why is there an excess mucus in the tubes? Or why is that mucus gone quite hardened? So I really invite you, if you're getting into herbal medicine, to not just look at symptom and herb, to actually look at the root cause, because these beautiful plants and herbs that we work with, you know, they're not just, okay, this can be used for this and this can be used for this. This has many different properties in it. As I've already mentioned a few: antiseptic, antifungal, antimicrobial, vitamin C, great for coughs and chest problems and all kinds of things that vitamin C would enhance as well. So it could help reduce inflammation in the body. It could help with inflamed joints. So you can't just look at one herb for one issue. So what I really invite you to do is look at the body as a whole system. So if you want extra vitamin C, if you want a tonic, if you want a decongestant for things such as coughs, and if you just want a general good health, then I really invite you to try this. Now, the one other contraindication I would possibly say, because there has been in some studies looking at the volatile oils in pine. So when you think volatile oils, they've kind of been glamorized these days with the name essential oils. But those volatile oils are quite powerful and aren't really suitable for people that are pregnant or breastfeeding. So I would always say that as a contraindication, just to be on the safe side. But once this tincture is ready and I've let it sit for a good few weeks and I've then bottled it up, I will then simply use it for the things that I've already mentioned, and I will also use it as a good tonic throughout the year. But also on an energetic level, you can use it to connect with the energy of the forest and to connect with the energy of the trees. Now, people always ask, well, how much should I take? How often should I take it? How long should I take it? Well, again, that's looking from it from a very allopathic point of view. And I would say everybody is different. There's always a possibility of allergic reactions with whatever you've got going on, because if you've got holes in your cell membranes that are leaking substances into your blood, which is causing your immune system to have a reaction, then that can happen with all sorts of things. So always start small. You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're not looking from it from an allopathic point of view where I've got this symptom and I want it gone by tomorrow. It's about building it up in the body. It's like building up that connection. If you was meeting somebody new for the first time, you wouldn't instantly in that meeting want to become best friends. And it's the same when we're building up connections with the plants. It's building up slowly. So you might start with 5 drops in some water and see how that goes, and build up to 20, 30 drops, and you could even build that up to a couple of times a day. But it depends exactly what you're using it for, and it's always good to give the body a bit of a break, so never use it consistently forever. You want to use it with purpose. And I always say that as a naturopath, I always say, for instance, supplements or herbal medicine has to be used purposeful. Why are you taking it? How long have you been taking it for? And what benefit have you been feeling? Now, it's also remembering when working with herbal medicine that it does take some time for your body to sometimes get used to it. So you can't just take it for 2 or 3 days and say, oh, that hasn't worked. Because so many clients I've asked, what have you tried? How have you tried it? And they'll say something like I tried a certain herbal tea, and they say, oh, it didn't work. Well, how long did you try it for? A couple of weeks. How much was you taking? Or maybe a cup a day? Well, you need a deeper connection with the plant. Again, going back to that theory of your friends, how long did it take you for from meeting someone until they were a good friend and you felt that connection. And it's exactly the same when we're working with the plants. So hopefully that's inspired you to work with beautiful pine trees to make a tincture, because that was really easy. I put them in, filled it up to the top with vodka, closed it. I'm going to be putting it somewhere away from sunlight and just leaving it do its job. All the goodness come into the vodka. I'll then strain it and bottle it up. So if that's inspired you and you'd like to learn more, then head on over to my YouTube channel and you can hit subscribe, and that also helps me get this wisdom out there to other people. And you can also head on over to my website, selinawalker.earth, sign up to my free newsletter, and you'll get hints and tips from me and some news articles all about creating a healthy body and a healthy mind and a healthy planet. I'm going to sit here enjoying the delicious pine trees all around me, and I shall see you soon.